This is The Saharan African Desert by Taylor Lawson and Garrison Brott. The abiotic factors are as following. Less than 10 inches of precipitation a year, which is low for average. And the soil is less than 1 inch of topsoil, which is very thin. And there are very high winds that blow away the topsoil. And there are very, very cold nights and harsh, hot days. And the common plant is the date palm. The date palm is found in the hot, sandy soil of the Sahara Desert and resembles a palm tree that you would find on a beach, as in California or such as Florida. It is one of the most important exports of the Sahara Desert plants. Most beverages include date palm in them, which including certain sweets. And I'm sure you've tried a sweet like candy that has date palm in them, because it's very common. And it also is food which is cooked as vegetables for the natives, which is one of their normal food. The common animal is the dromedary. It has one hump to store water, so it doesn't have to go find somewhere that has a drink every day. And the dromedaries enjoy eating shrubs, grasses, and grains. They have thick pads over their knees and feet so it can kneel on the hot sand and not hurt itself, because the sand is very hot, because obviously it's so heated by the sun that it just is boiling. The dromedaries can live up to 50 years old, and they only have one mate in their whole life. They have bilateral symmetry and peripheral vision. Bilateral symmetry is when one side of their body is exactly the same as the other side, and peripheral vision is where their eyes are on the side of their head where they can see all around them. And here's a video for part of their behavior. Yeah. As you can tell, they don't do much, but the people who videoed this definitely are lucky that they got so close to one of these animals, because it's very rare. The endangered species is the Dama gazelle. The Dama gazelle is also known as the Aydra gazelle, and it is the largest gazelle. It's the largest gazelle in the world, and it's also the world's rarest gazelle. It is 88 to 165 pounds, and their common behavior is mostly walking around. And as you can tell, they like the more grassy areas, as in this one here. And they're very skinny, as you can tell on their legs here, and you're able to see all their bones, and they have a sort of what you would call it an S-shaped horn, which is, I guess they don't use it that much, but it's used more for like just the looks of it, because all gazelles have that. But so their common behavior is right here, and I'll play it for you. And and it's only 34 seconds, so it's not that bad. But um, yeah. So, and as you can tell, they have a sort of sideways crescent moon on their neck, and all of them do. But here's the video. So. Yeah, it's just a cute little boy, but if we can skip back to the video here. And as you can tell, that'd be really cool for them to drive by them like that. It'd be very rare, but yeah. There'd be that. So, yeah. The next is the biome discussions. The common tribe is the thorags right here. The women wear tarhas, or a hooded type thing covering their face and hair, and all of them, all of the thorag people, as you can tell here in this preview of the video, wear robes or draped clothings, and they also wear sandals, which isn't mentioned here, but and they mainly herd cattle, but they enjoy their music a lot and treasure it. So here's some of their music. Just one sec. Sorry, there was a little malfunction, but here's the music. I think it's some sort of like indie type music, maybe. It kind of sounds like music that India would be listening to. I personally think that this is a very interesting type music, especially the electric guitars. But as you can tell, this song is very long, and I don't want to waste the time, so we'll go on to the next, which is the biome map, which is made by a special it's made by a special type of program where you can design your own map as here and outline it and highlight and and crop it as I did, where it's only on Africa, which is what we're focusing on. And it's mostly located, as you can tell, in the north of Africa, northern Africa, and also southwest Africa. It doesn't cover most of Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, Libya, Egypt, Mauritania, Senegal, Gambia, and Guinea-Bissau, but it covers most of northern Africa, which is said. And right here in this southern Africa, it's pretty close to the Congo. So, fun fact. And the common animals are the fennec fox, which is the most adorable, the horned viper, which is pretty interesting because it is a snake and it has two horns, and the Adax antelope, which has like a spiral type of horn, which is pretty neat, and the desert gerbil, which and it's just like your house gerbil. Fun fact. And the African ground squirrel is like a squirrel you'd see in your yard. So. One second. The desert gerbil. The desert gerbil has a flat tail and is in the rodent family. The desert gerbil is exactly the same as a gerbil you would have as a pet in your house, and it eats grains, plants, fruits, nuts, and seeds, which is the typical food for a rodent. The African ground squirrel. The African ground squirrel has a long tail, really short ears, spiny, spiky fur, and weighs up to 1 kilogram, which isn't much at all. And they normally live in holes, as you can see here. And also, if you can tell, this squirrel dug right there, so they like digging. The fennec fox, in my belief, is one of the cutest foxes in the world, and it has huge bat-like ears, is nocturnal, and being nocturnal, it has to avoid the heat of the day. So, and they also are in the family of some dogs, and obviously in the fox family. They can also be pets, which people treat them like dogs. And here's a short little video of them playing around with their owners. And they're pretty cute. So. Oh. The horned viper has two horns on its head and has poisonous venom, is camouflage, and what being the color of the sand, which is a type of light brown and dark brownish. And it digs itself into the sand so that it has some sort of shelter and camouflage, so no prey can see it until it's already snuck up on them. And here it's getting ready to get some prey. The Adax antelope has splayed hooves, a body length of 1.5 to 1.7 meters, and the males weigh more than the females at birth, which is just kind of a fun fact, and it's one of the fastest antelopes on Earth. As you can tell here, they put on a lot of weight, so they're warmer, obviously, but they don't really need to be. And they have spiral type hooves, and they like prancing around, especially at the zoo where they don't get much exercise.